Hey guys, JJ here with some new and interesting leaks in regards to Resident Evil 8. So with that being said, let's get right into it. By now, it should be no surprise that aside from the recent Resident Evil remakes, Capcom would want to continue the storyline with Resident Evil 8. It was only a matter of time before the leaks began to emerge, and what has been shared so far has been very interesting to say the least. Before we get into it, it should be noted that as of right now, we've received no official announcement from Capcom that Resident Evil 8 is in development. What I'm about to discuss is all rumors. If true, this could be potential spoilers, so you've been warned. The news comes from our friends over at Biohazard Declassified. They received the information via their tip line. If this information is true, it would likely mean that their assertion that the Capcom testing emails in August were for Resident Evil 8. Here's what they have. Ethan will be returning as a playable character. This makes sense given Ethan's story in Resident Evil 7. It felt like there was more to be told. I personally wasn't a fan of the character, but maybe they'll give him more personality this go around. Next up, Resident Evil 8 was tested last year. If this is true, then that would explain this leak. It will not be called Resident Evil 8, but will have a clever title. This seems surprising to me. Aside from legal reasons, Capcom has always stuck with numbering their main entries in the series. I'm interested to see what this clever title will be. The game will be in first person, like Resident Evil 7. This should be no surprise. Capcom normally sticks to a specific playstyle every 3 games, though I would prefer they went with what we've seen in Resident Evil 2 and the upcoming Resident Evil 3 remake. Gameplay starts in a village leading up to a castle. The environments will be rural, snowy, and mountainous, possibly Europe. This definitely piques my interest. Resident Evil 4 had both a village and a castle, so I'd love to see something similar in the RE engine. Regular zombies will be appearing instead of the molded from Resident Evil 7. Zombies are back! Personally, I didn't mind the molded, but I felt they lacked in variety. Having zombies return makes me wonder what type of virus we'll see. Maybe the T-virus will return. There is a persistent, shadowy female enemy that will follow you, but will dissipate if shot. The disappearing enemies seems very out of place for Resident Evil, but maybe Capcom is taking an approach similar to Resident Evil 3.5. In Resident Evil 3.5, there was a chemical that caused hallucinations. That would be really interesting. There will also be wolf-like creatures that will attack the player in certain areas. So does that mean we're getting werewolves? I wonder if they'll have an attack style similar to the hunters. And last but not least, Chris Redfield will be returning in some capacity. I really hope they expand on his story this go around and explain his true reasoning for working with Blue Umbrella. Also, giving his character closure would be nice. Well, there you have it. All the new leaks for Resident Evil 8. Having a village, castle, and disappearing character really gives me Resident Evil 3.5 vibes, and I would love if Capcom would explore this idea further. The fact that we're getting zombies back is also very interesting. This information has got me more excited for the future of the series, but I'm curious what your thoughts are. Are you excited to see Chris Redfield return? What do you think about Ethan coming back? How do you feel about enemies that disappear? What do you think about possible werewolves? What do you think of the new setting? Let us know down in the comments and let's talk about it. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and for all the latest Resident Evil news, make sure to subscribe. The Residents of Evil is a Patreon supported channel, so if you'd like to help support the channel and unlock some perks in return, head over to patreon.com/RONetwork. Link will be down in the description. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and we hope to see you back at the Residents of Evil.